to water, a true story that's been animated.
Wow.
True. Hey, I mean, you can actually be allergic to water.
Hey, I'm Lily.
Hi, Lily.
This story is about my disgusting classmate Pablo.
Pablo? Why is he disgusting? Also, I thought this story was about how you're allergic to water.
He always hit on me, saying things like, "Nice booty, come over to my house and..."
Literally, everybody's looking. It's not just Pablo. All the classmates are looking at her booty. So rude.
We can party, just the two of us. It didn't matter how many times I told him to stop. He just got worse.
He doesn't respect her personal
Stop
boundaries.
him because his dad was a powerful politician.
Okay.
You see, I live in Honduras, and our government is very corrupt.
Oh no. Their government is very corrupt, and his dad has a lot of control over people. Let's just say that.
If you stood up to Pablo, he might tell his dad, and you could be beaten up, or worse.
Not worse.
When I was 17, I suddenly developed a water allergy. The doctors didn't know why, but whenever water touched my skin, it burned like
She
acid.
got, oh no. Okay, so basically the way a water allergy works is that you're not really technically allergic to it because you can still drink it. And obviously your body is like mostly made of water, but it cannot touch your skin. And some people have it worse than others. It's very, very rare. And this girl, unfortunately, is one of the few people who has it. How does she shower? How does she do anything?
I made an announcement to my class to tell them to be careful and not throw any water on me because I'd get badly hurt.
Oh, poor
But
girl.
of course, Pablo didn't believe me.
Of course.
He laughed and sneered.
He's so rude.
Lily's just looking for an excuse not to shower.
I mean, why would you tell your literal worst enemy about your one weakness?
Yeah.
Like your kryptonite, the one thing that can destroy you. You're like, Pablo, he hates me. I'm gonna tell him how he can hurt me the most with water.
Then he dipped his finger into the water bucket next to the blackboard
No!
and splashed water in my face.
Oh, this poor girl, but also like, why is there a water bucket in class? How convenient.
I screamed, desperately trying to wipe the water off my face. But it was too late. A small rash came up on my skin, and it was very painful. Pablo still didn't believe me, though. He
What
said
do you
I was
mean?
only pretending, and I'd scratched my face on purpose.
Seriously?
She just sounds like a bully.
After class was over, another boy called Simon came to see if I was okay.
Oh, Simon's a good guy.
Pablo's a jerk, he
Yeah.
said. Sorry I didn't stand up to him. Nobody deserves to be treated like that.
Aw.
Oh my god.
Is she in
I
love?
had a crush on Simon for years,
Ah,
and now
Simon.
he's talking to me?
She's in love.
Hearing always made me laugh.
You should date him, girl.
But nothing was going to happen with him because
Why?
he already
Oh.
had a girlfriend.
He already had a girlfriend. Yeah, I guess you can't date him. Sorry. With that little, major detail.
2 weeks later, our class took a trip to the beach. I couldn't go into the water because of my allergies, so I changed into my bikini and played volleyball
But
with
you're
some
still
of
at
my
the
friends.
beach. You're allergic to water.
I just scored a point when Pablo came over.
Uh-oh.
How are you?
Uh-oh.
I said fine.
Why would you go to the beach with your enemy when you are surrounded by water? What do you think is gonna happen? I don't know what's gonna happen, but I feel like he's probably gonna push her into the water or
No,
something.
that's not
I'm
true.
terrified.
I really
No.
didn't want to talk to
You
him
have
after
to
what he did in
take
class.
Of course not.
lessons.
He's mean.
But then
This
he
is
said,
just a
I still think you're lying
story.
about your water allergy. So he pulled the water pistol from behind his back and squirted water right at my chest. Within seconds, my skin turned red and I
She
wanted
has
to
a
scream,
bad rash now.
but I couldn't because I was struggling to breathe. The next thing I remember is waking up in a hospital.
The
He literally
heart.
sent her to the hospital. I bet he feels horrible.
Not
Or maybe
actually.
not because he's a horrible person. Sometimes horrible people don't feel horrible
No.
when they do horrible things. Or maybe they do and they don't want us to know.
The next thing I remember is waking up in a hospital. My mom was there and she told me I
Whoa.
Careful with
Whoa.
those tears. That's water. You could literally hurt her. Get away with those tears. She's like crying on her daughter. Her daughter's like, water. Yes.
She stayed with me as long as she could, but she still had
No
to
water
work to
allowed in
support
here,
our
buddy.
family. So eventually, she had to
inappropriate.
go. Guess who came into my room
No.
after she'd gone?
No. Is it Pablo?
Yep. Pablo.
Get away from here. I guess he did feel bad. Maybe he's not as bad as we thought, but also still pretty bad. Like, I don't know if we can forgive him yet.
I wanted to scream at him to go away. I was too weak, so I just glared at him.
I love the little energy of
Mhm.
Sorry, Lily. I really thought you were joking when you said you were allergic to water. I already told your mom that my dad will pay your hospital bills. And if there's anything I can do for you, let me know.
That's nice.
That creep. Did he really think he could just say sorry and let his dad buy his way out of trouble?
I still think she shouldn't forgive him yet. Well, like, I think she should forgive him, but, like, I don't know. I don't trust this boy.
Buzzer for the nurse and told her to throw Pablo out. But a couple hours later, Pablo snuck back into my room wearing a cheesy mustache. He brought roses and apologized openly.
How did he get past all the nurses wearing just a mustache? They really couldn't recognize him? So you guys are telling me, if I walk around like this, you don't know who I am? You're like,
Yeah.
oh no, that can't be Azzy. She got a charger for a mustache. Unrecognizable.
Disguise on fleek. Who is she?
I I gotta admit, it was kind of cute to see how hard he was trying to say sorry.
I mean, wouldn't anybody feel bad? Like, he almost ended her.
I let him stay, and we ended up watching La La Land on his laptop.
La La Land, that's the most boring thing ever I've seen before in my
It
life.
wasn't that bad.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure he showed his true character before. Everybody deserves a second chance, right? Just don't trust him. Especially with, like, his dad being so, like, powerful in the country.
Pablo didn't go home. Instead, he slept on the floor next to my bed.
Aww.
He said he wanted to be near me in case
I know.
something happened.
Now I'm starting to feel bad. Do we forgive him? I don't know, guys.
Yeah.
He was like my shadow until the doctor said I could go home. As we walked out of the hospital together, he kissed me, and I kissed him back.
Wait, can people with water allergies kiss each other?
Yes, he'd been a jerk, but people
really
can
big one.
change, right? Our first weeks dating were awesome. We'd
Okay,
hang out
that's
at his
good.
house, and it was amazing. He had a tennis court, indoor swimming pool.
So he rich. I mean, obviously his dad's like a famous politician.
But slowly his behavior changed. He started to tell me what clothes to wear and who I could be friends
True
with.
colors are showing.
Sometimes he'd order me to come to his house just to send me away again 25 minutes later.
Why? Just for the sake of being mean? Why would you invite somebody over and then be like,
You can go home now, please.
this is mean?
I wasn't going to let him treat me like that.
It's good. She's
When
strong.
I told him I didn't feel respected, he laughed and said, I don't care how you feel. I promised my dad we'd get married.
What? I'm so confused. Why was he so nice at the hospital just to be a jerk again? It makes no sense. Why? Why is he being like this? It could have been happy, but he played.
And he gets mad when people break their promises. You don't want to see my dad when he's mad.
Ooh, so he's threatening
I
her with her
asked,
dad.
Don't you want to marry a normal girl who isn't allergic to water?
Sure.
You're always complaining that I smell bad because I can't take showers and have to use powder to clean myself.
She uses powder to clean herself. I wasn't sure how she did it. I felt bad. Like, can you wear makeup? Because you can't wash it off. I mean, you could, you just wouldn't be able to wash it off. Is there water in makeup? Can you use moisturizer? I guess you would have to use like an oil-based moisturizer. There's so many questions.
But he said, you're the girl I want. If I can't have you, no one else will.
That's not romantic.
If I can't have you, no one else can.
So I stayed with him. I was afraid of what his father would do if I tried to break up with him.
Aw, she's trapped.
Pablo's behavior got worse though.
Okay.
He started cheating on me.
I was like, she looks different, but that's because that's not her. He's really being mean.
He didn't care that I knew. But then I started going
How
to
is this
university.
okay?
Everything changed. Guess who I met in the library? Simon. So I was reading a book. He came over to say hi.
Is Simon gonna save her?
His smile was cuter than ever, and all my feelings for him came flooding back. I asked if he was still with his girlfriend, and he said, no, we broke up some time ago.
Ooh, I feel like Simon's gonna save her.
It felt like this was fate. We sat together and
don't
talked
need
for
to talk
hours.
about
We could have stayed there all night. But I got a text from Pablo demanding I go to see him. I hated saying goodbye to Simon. And while I was with Pablo, I couldn't stop thinking about my high school crush.
Aw, she
When
loves
Simon and I met again at a coffee.
They keep meeting. Honestly, Paulo's gonna find out and he's gonna be mad. I'm so scared. Girl, you can't like do this behind his back. There needs to be another way.
I confessed that I'd loved him for years. I was too scared to leave Pablo. Without saying a word, Simon pulled me to him and kissed me. I never wanted that kiss to end.
I'm not
But I pushed
scared.
him away, saying, You'll be dead if Pablo finds out.
Yep.
I don't care, Simon replied.
I don't
He kissed me
care.
again.
Okay.
We started dating in secret. For a few months, I thought we'd get away with it. But one night, Pablo asked me, I hear you're close friends with Simon from school.
I knew this day was coming. I'm really scared.
I gasped. What? No, he's just one of my classmarks. I hardly
He's
know
not gonna
him.
believe that. He's not gonna
Pablo
believe that.
said, Carlos told me he saw you and him kissing. I protested. Carlos is lying, but I could tell.
Look at her little sweat mark on her forehead. That's when you know you extra stressed. When there's a little sweat right here. Super nervous. However many likes this video gets is how many years Pablo should be in jail.
Pablo didn't believe me.
Of course he does.
You know what I
But he's cheating on her. Where's
Wait,
the
wait,
double
wait.
standard?
So how would you keep someone?
I mean, he does.
Pablo said. I started
James,
crying,
it doesn't
begging
make
him to
sense.
leave
You
Simon
don't know
alone.
that.
But Pablo pushed me away and ordered two of his dad's security guards to go with him. After they left, I rang Simon and told him to leave town or Pablo would come for him.
Okay,
Simon persuaded
Simon
me
gets
to go
it.
with them, so we agreed to meet up at the city bus station.
we're running away
Before
together.
I left, I stole two small Inca statues from Pablo's house. I knew they were made of pure gold, so I'd hoped they'd help me and Simon to start a new life.
We'll have to wait to see what happens to her. I'll let you guys know if I have an update. But in the meantime, here's another girl allergic to water.
I'm Victoria, and I was only
Hi,
14
Victoria.
when my whole life changed. It was a regular morning, and I was taking a shower before school. I always did. After I was done, I used a towel to dry myself off.
And then
That's
she
when I
realized.
noticed that I was completely covered in hives.
Her
At
hives.
first, it didn't seem like a big deal, but the hives got bigger, and my whole skin started to burn and itch.
Oh
The pain got so bad that my mom drove me to the hospital. Unfortunately, the doctors had no idea what was wrong with me.
It's so rare that I don't think most doctors would know. They'd be like, I don't know why you got hives. What have you been eating? What have you been putting on your skin? You're just like, just water?
Finally, after 3 days inside the hospital, they diagnosed me with aquagenic urticaria, which is a fancy way of saying water allergy. Technically, it's not an allergy, but then again, no one really knows what it is. And because only 1 in 200 million people have it,
Super
there
rare.
aren't any scientists trying to find a cure.
That's the sad thing about people who have, some type of diseases that are very rare. It doesn't make sense for scientists usually to find a cure for it because there's so few people they can help, and it's really sad. I wish it wasn't like that, but I guess they'd rather focus on diseases or cancers that like a lot of people have to help more people. Kind of makes sense. It just really sucks to be somebody like Victoria, and I had close to her. Maybe one day we'll have a cure to everything.
When I got my diagnosis, I became seriously depressed because I thought my life was over. I mean,
No, girl.
what boy would ever want to date a girl that doesn't take showers?
Pablo, for one, not that you want to, but you'll find somebody that loves you no matter what is different about you.
I wanted to cry, but I couldn't because even my own tears caused rashes on my face.
But the other girl was crying. But I guess everybody has a different severity.
Life felt so unfair.
Life
But
is
when my
unfair.
mom saw how I was feeling, she bought me a book called Life Without Limits by Nick Vujicic. He was born without
I like that last name, Vujicic. So it just sounds fun to say.
born without legs and arms, yet he managed to create an extraordinary life for himself.
See? If this man can do it, so can you.
Reading his story encouraged me to stop complaining about things I can't change and instead to focus on things that are in my control.
That's beautiful.
Like,
message.
I always dreamed of becoming a professional soccer player, but since I'm allergic to my own sweat, I had to give up on that dream. But instead of complaining how unfair the world is, I just chose a new career.
There's a million things you can do with your life. If you can't do one of them, find something else.
Become a doctor, help other people, maybe even find a cure for an unusual condition like me.
Like herself.
Kind of lucky because where I live, it always rains. That means that most of the time I can't leave my house, so I have plenty of time to spend.
That's a great positive outlook. Instead of complaining that it's always raining, you can say, hey, that means I have tons of time to do other things.
Oh, and in case you were wondering how I clean myself, I actually take one cold shower once a week. Yeah, afterwards I'm covered in hives and rashes for the rest of the day, but at least I'm clean. So you don't need to feel sorry for me, because overall,